Well, hello there folks, and welcome to another video where it's instructor training day. We're about to meet up with Scott. We've just pulled into the old car park, our place of meeting, so I'm sure Scott will be jumping in any second now. Morning. These lads are on an earner here, aren't they? Look.
They are. I'm just watching Bob the Builder. They're blooming stacking it.
I tell you what, how would we be following that van then, Scott? If we were behind that?
Very far away. In fact, I might be turning around and going in the opposite direction because they come off his back end.
They've got wheels.
Yeah, I had a think about MSM the other day, and I think the message just got lost slightly with that. Really, I mean, if you think signals are probably going to come after brake lights, aren't they? So if we use MSM,
I do naturally. I've noticed I do that quite a bit.
Well, you don't want to signal too early, but you might have to slow down on approach to something. Yeah. So why don't we think of MSM as brake lighting and indicators, but maybe mirrors and how we're going to brake. Yeah. Mirrors, how should we brake here? Yeah, how should
That's
we
one thing I noticed. I've tried to retrain my brake, but there's just sometimes that, and I think again, I don't know if it's going back to van driving or not. I don't know, but I haven't got that. That's a big thing. I'm a big button not seen behind me. I do tend to, if I know I'm coming to a junction, I'm going to be turning, I know there's no other junctions or anything in front of me, I tend to put the indicator on, because I don't necessarily need to slow down straight away. And then apply, and sometimes it gets lost. Like the other day I was driving the car, where was I? Where was it going? I've been come back from golf on Sunday. Yeah. And the roads were dead. And I indicated first, the car was coming up quite quick. Yeah. There was nothing to kind of warrant me needing to slow down excessively because Neil got a bit of time. So he then started to brake, but done my mirrors at the same time as doing my indication almost. It was like, well, I've done that wrong, should we mirror signal, then indicate? I'm thinking, well, but in that situation, I think I've done the right thing.
Doing it earlier?
Yeah, because the four-wheel that car was flying up my backside. Yeah. I didn't need to brake, because if I'd have braked unnecessarily, you'd probably thought, what's that dickhead doing?
And you probably would have increased your risk. So,
but that was, again, a situation, I think, I think it's just kind of, but again, retraining, but sometimes still, because of the van, I don't know why, even in the van, I rock forward and look, but in my car, I tend to do that, and it's just that, like you said, that blind spot there and that blind spot there. Yeah. Just get myself into that bit more. I'm doing it, but there are times I go, missed the blind spot there.
Got yeah.
And I think there was one last week as well, wasn't there? You clocked a 9 new straight away when I'd done it, I didn't check. But no, it's getting there, it's just that, I wish I had a manual stick now.
Right, yeah, you probably need to.
My last car was manual, showing, I didn't have that, but I'll get that. I'll speak to my old man the next couple of days and have to go into Birmingham and pick one up if I can.
Yeah, that would be really useful.
I think it will, because it was just trying that, slowing down at the...
You'll be able to do... Yeah,
because I've naturally got that laziness of... And then we'll come to a stop and coasting in rather than using the engine, which is not great. I don't do it on high speed and stuff, but... Yeah. Besides the point, because you shouldn't... You know, you've got full control of the vehicle when it's actually got the engine.
I think a lot of drivers actually do that.
I think it becomes a lazy habit, I think, doesn't it, almost?
I don't think... Yeah, I don't know if you even know you're doing it, if you even know it's a thing, do you?
I didn't until...
Do you know?
I didn't, to be fair, until you brought it up, and then I realised now when I do it, I'm like, doing that again.
It feels far more controlled, doesn't it? Unless you the other way around, so... Yeah. So, what is your goals for today, and what...
Well, I've done a bit more research on the forward planning and anticipation that you asked me to do. Looking at that again, that's kind of made me a bit more aware that I thought my anticipation always is good, but it's not quite there enough. You know, like things like, you know, that car last week that pulled out from the red car, and there was a car back out the drive. I'd seen it all, I knew it was there, and I knew the actual, but just because I knew didn't mean that the other guys that were doing their manoeuvres knew that I was there. And so sometimes, like you said, I give the intention to just let people know I'm pulling off, say no, I'm doing that, rather than just I can see it all and judging.
Because otherwise we're going off presumptions, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I think. Sometimes my anticipation, you know, when I'm driving along and I'm on a road and I'm looking out for hazards or potential hazards, I don't feel like I'm not too bad. There are, obviously, I can still get better. I know I can. I was doing it yesterday. I was trying to talk, you know, drivers talk at junctions, and you know, just saying, oh, there's pedestrian over dog, you know, just clocking things that I probably clock subconsciously, but don't really pay much attention to.
You're speaking out loud?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Awful.
What's the difference between a hazard and a developing hazard?
A hazard and a developing hazard. A developing hazard, obviously, you can see something like you said, that car. If you've seen it potentially pulling out to a junction, it's pulling out slow. That could be a developing hazard, because if you're not aware, you might have to react to them pulling out in front of you.
It would be moving. It would be developing.
Yeah, as it's actually it seems to be it's happening as
playing
such.
out.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. You can see that car's physically moving,
and it might not stop.
Yeah, potentially someone. I suppose potentially you see things like ahead, a forecourt at the time, or even a junction at the time is clear. But potentially, as you approach that, it could become a hazard because the car could get to that junction and come out, or a pedestrian walking on. Then all of a sudden, signs and minds went across the road.
Quick one. You see that driver in that car in front?
Yeah.
Hazard or developing hazard?
I would say at the moment just a hazard.
Correct.
Because she's not moving. The vehicle's stationary. She has no. Oh, she's happily vaping away. No intention of moving anyway, is she?
She's vaping herself silly in that car. But yeah.
Developing would be a sign to move towards us.
Awesome. So, and that's where when you're teaching, learners will overreact to hazards, and then not react to a developing hazard sometimes. And so we've got to raise your awareness so you can be there to spot exactly what's what, and you know what they should be doing.
I think honing in again on my potentials and developings.
All right.
Because although I sit potential.
So on that note, I'll give you direction a good time. If you're unsure of anything, let me know. I won't use any of the controls unless I really need to. The hand or the foot controls to keep us safe. But if I do need to, I will. And I'll let you know when I put you back, give you back full control. That's something I'd say probably to a new learner, but just obviously making you aware. And I'd say every so often as well. I wouldn't say probably every lesson, but it's like a risk declaration, if you like. And I think it's important because most learner drivers are forgetting that you're there to help them. I think they're thinking they're on their own a lot of the time. It's all on them, and put themselves under extra pressure. Remind them, I've got you. You're here to make mistakes. We welcome them. They're stepping stones to your success. That's why I'm here, to make sure they're not dangerous ones.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay. So when you're ready, turning left out of the car park, please, onto the Nottingham Road. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all right?
No problem.
Just get this one on, Scott. There we go. I don't think she's going to step out, is she?
No.
She looks wise.
Yeah. Although.
We're going to take the next road on the right. It's just as you come down the hill on the right, alright?
Yeah.
And turning right at the end of this road, very short road. What could we have done then, Scott, with the feet, knowing that you were going to go probably straight after that van?
Get the biting point, the acceleration ready.
Yeah. What would that alleviate?
Potential rollback.
Yes, there was a teeny weeny rollback.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were teaching your learners that skill though.
That's
Stop on the gradient with your foot brake and then quickly dive to your gas and bite.
Yeah.
It's going to be a task for them. It's going to confuse them.
Yeah, I'm driving some confident enough to do that, and really I should be thinking from that point, but understand.
Right. Cool.
I shouldn't have changed gear then either.
Alright.
Speed bump.
Alright, nice one. So let's look ahead and study first before we change anything really.
Yeah.
So before we speed up, check your middle and right, anything overtaking?
No.
Looking ahead, is it going to be safe to come right through the middle of all?
At the moment, yes.
Third gear then, because the speed bump went for ages. And we shouldn't need to brake for the bump? Shouldn't. So this door could open because the other one's open. Check your middle mirror and ease off. He's back in now, staying 3.
Staying 3?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That was a bit concerning. That was not going to be in.
Well, you've got to. All you've got to do, really, you don't want to be slower just because you've changed your gear. You want the right speed for the bump.
Yeah.
So if you think at this point you need second to get you up and over the bump, do. But you've got to look at it. They're all very different. These are flat tops. Sometimes we've got the humpy ones.
Yeah, they're really quite steep and they do kick that. Yeah.
So let's look at it. You might, it's not, either one's not wrong, but I wouldn't want you going second just because, finish your slowing down first.
Is that because you know your car more than I know it, I think? Is that why maybe I was trying to maybe get to second thing, it weren't going to...
think what it's to do with is keeping the car happy, so the timing of easing in and off the gas.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, getting the timing right, yeah.
Because there's always a lag on the turbo anyway, think of that.
Yeah.
So I anticipate him stepping backwards.
Yeah. And coming over a large sign or object behind him.
So anything you're anticipating, let me know.
Okay, this guy at the van door could step backwards. His door, hopefully it's not the latch shouldn't swing open, but just in case, because you do see him throw him open wide.
Take the next road on the left. Stay in 3. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Plenty on through it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's getting to know this car a bit better, I think, in the gears.
Try it in your own.
Yeah, I need the manual car, don't I? That's what I need.
Yeah, you do. Now, 3 would be good in any car there.
Yeah,
we'll discuss the reasons why, and you probably know. So can you turn right, second exit please at the roundabout?
Right, second exit.
So mirrors, signals. And how would you describe the lane positioning on this?
Position was rubbish then, because I thought there was a left, I thought the second exit was there, to be fair. I forgot there's not an exit there, so really I should have been right to left centre of the line. Yeah, I missed. I thought there was another junction there, so I assumed second exit was straight ahead. So I got that wrong.
Okay, alright. So that's forward planning, isn't it?
Yeah,
now, my instruction was slightly late, and it's because I think we were talking about something else. So why don't we just pull in a bit? I'll let you know when, and we'll just catch up with a few bits and bobs there, just so they're not slipping away from us. Because with this training, once you get too many faults, it's really hard to deal with, to remember for one.
Yeah.
Can you take the next road on the right there, please, Scott? Very good. Not doing too bad, are we, with the old brakes to slow gears to go there?
No, it's better, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better.
So why is it better then? What attributes are you bringing that's making that nicer?
I'm thinking about braking more and just naturally dropping to the gear when I need to, and I think I also need to actually get used to this car more with the gears. I think I definitely need a manual car to get used to.
What are you expecting?
Builders, cars.
Any evidence of a hazard that could develop today?
Van door open there, this being a bit tight, he's not really parked great either.
Anybody around the back that could step towards the driver?
Well, the guy's just come out now, hasn't he? He's come around the back with some rubbish.
Alright. Okay. At the end of the road, let's turn right, please.
Oh, something off. That was a hand off the gear. Off then, I should have been on the wheel.
Pull up on the left, but just after this van, but well before the junction, just somewhere here. Alright.
It felt better. I think what I could take from it, before obviously you can correct me afterwards, I feel like I knew when I was making silly errors.
Give me an example.
Silly errors, but like taking hand off the wheel, maybe gear selections, that island there before the planning was wrong. I automatically assumed to know the area that there was a junction off to the left. So when you said second exit on the right, I was in the left lane to go straight on over. When actually, because I hadn't looked ahead, if I looked ahead and gone, no, you're wrong. There's not a junction there. So second, I'd have been in the right hand lane. I would have been in the right correct lane. It was just the fact that I wasn't forward planning and anticipating. Not so much anticipation, but yeah, forward planning. I hadn't seen it and gone, oh, there's no. So the second right, he's actually over there. So yeah, it's there. It feels better. I feel more natural.
Yeah. Let's just keep all those other thoughts in mind, because I'm interested in the examples you were going to give as to why it feels better, right? But let's just address that roundabout, because I want to correct you a little bit on that.
Okay.
I'm just making a video on this actually,
all right,
which I think you'll find useful. But on the way into that roundabout, how many lanes? What's the width like?
It's 1.5 maybe. It's 2. It's probably not 2 lanes, is it?
It's 1.
Is it classed as 1? Is it?
You wouldn't get 2 side by side, really.
No.
And then on the roundabout, so basically, if there's no paint on the roundabout, there's no paint on approach. It's only just going to be for 1.
Okay.
So what you want to do is drive defensively, look up defensive driving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
being centre of my lane.
Yeah. If you're too far right, what will you invite on the left
People
potentially?
coming down the left, and if you're too far left, people coming on the
Yeah. Bikes and things.
Yeah, I do that quite a lot actually, without realising it. Defensive driving.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the reason we spoke about last week. Why you sat? Where's the centre? You pointed out last week it was centre of my lane. I was sat more kind of to the right, to the middle of the actual carriageway.
Yeah.
I think that's just been born out of the fact that being a slow van, people just do drive and they'll come round you. They don't care. I had one last night, a moped. I'd seen him. I was coming past the parked car, so I pulled into my position, which is not half over, but into the oncoming traffic a little bit. Obviously, it was dead. And I could see him. I thought he's going to come straight past me now. And obviously, he's come round me. Now, if there'd been a car, I'm coming. Where's he going? And I do, without thinking about it sometimes, drive defensively. That there, I assumed would be wide enough for two, and thought, but yeah, you're right. It should be middle lane. And
there's loads of cars parked on it as well. I mean, cars always park on there for school pickup. It's just like a bendy road.
Yeah. It definitely is always people parking on there, and that's defensive drive. I get that.
So what about then identification on approach? So we look. You get the instruction, whether it be sat nav, me, or an examiner, or whoever, or in your own head, and so you know what you're going to do. You identify where it is, how long you've got till approaching, what it is.
Yeah. Once
you get there, what does it require of you?
Yeah.
How many different types of roundabouts can you think of?
You got your mini.
Yeah.
You got your main island.
So what's the main one like then? How does that work?
A dual carriageway, ideally, are you meant to drive and approach it, or just how it works?
Do you want me to go over just to make it a bit easier? So like, you've got like single lane ones, that we've just done.
Yeah.
So you'd be in the middle, and they're not always small ones. Like that one's big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a big island. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you won't get two side by side. It'd be risky if you did, because if you both,
You don't. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You've got spiral roundabouts.
Okay.
Are you aware of that?
So what's the spiral class testing?
I see you bought.
I probably have seen them.
I see you bought the visuals last week. Was that you?
I have bought them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've printed them out, but I've not brought them with me today. Unfortunately, I forgot.
That's all right, because I've always got mine.
I've got to get them laminated, to be fair, so I don't keep.
Yeah, what you should do when you do get them sorted out in a book.
Yeah.
And do bring them so that I'll ask you to get it out, so that you can get used to opening it up.
Well, on bottom line, bring them in, and I'll just copy yours. What you got laid out as well.
Yeah.
Is it page order?
No, I just laid it out to me. Yeah. It's a logical order to me.
Yeah.
And there's no.
Well, as long as I'm teaching from you, I'll learn that from you, and then I can rearrange if I need to suit me and my learners as and when. But
yeah, definitely.
Spiral,
yeah. So you'd start in the right, and because it's 3 lanes on, sometimes 2.
Yeah.
I think this is what the Asda roundabout's like, but they don't tell you it's like it.
The main one coming off from
the big one. If you're going towards up,
everybody gets in the wrong lane, tries to come across or come in. And,
So if you're in the right, look, you pass one exit, and then you get a line coming out from the middle. So a line out from the middle, 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 and that's what it does. It just kind of spits you out. There's no lane changes. You just follow the lane out. Is this ringing a bell?
Yeah.
You just follow the line and the lane outwards, and the right, or lane 3 becomes lane 2, lane 2 becomes lane 1, and off you come.
Yeah.
That's the way they work.
Yeah.
The roundabout at Allenton, Spider Mitre, that's one, but a very small version. So that's what they are. So we have to teach that. We've got like 3 lanes on, 3 lanes on approach, 3 lanes on it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very quirky, some of them. Double minis, some of these in Willington.
I've been around the Magic Roundabout in Swindon.
Have you? I've never done that. And then this is more of the type that you're going to see more often, which is 2 on. Two on approach, 2 on, 2 off, 2 continual lanes or a merge, really.
Yeah. So what do you class? I refer to it as a banana. I don't think it's banana island, but
I've never heard that one.
No, I think it's just my own. Because obviously you go up to the top of the Bardell's Island.
Yeah.
And you've got your 3 lanes. You've got your left-hand lane off towards Stalford and back onto the A52 towards Derby.
Yeah.
Up towards Nottingham. The middle lane's the same, but the middle lane also comes round towards Bardell's Garden Centre and off. then your third lane going off towards Towton, you actually drive through the middle of the island.
It's
almost like a banana shape in the middle. That's why I call it banana, but it's not. I know it's not called Banana Island, but
it's like a cut through, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think.
So you're driving through that section there to come that way,
That's
and the rest of the traffic's going off.
I'd just call it a light controlled junction, really.
You get that wrong.
It's just, if you're turning right, you need, again, you identify the right, I want right, you need information, don't you, when it's complex like that, which they're going to give you. Arrows on the floor, signs up in the air.
And I think personally signs too late.
Do you?
Yeah, I think the signs they've got is good and they're clear.
But then again, if you're turning right, what lane do you use to turn right?
The right hand lane.
So if you're in the right, you can't.
Yeah, again, but the markings on the road have disappeared. So people sit in that middle lane and think, because the way it's shaped, and it's not making excuses, it's the way it's shaped, people automatically think, well, I'm in the middle lane, I'm going to straighten over because that lane directly ahead in the split of the island is lined up with me. When in theory it's not, because of the hatch markings, but like you said,
it's not quite in line, is it?
Yeah.
It kind of, the lane 2 kind of looks like it could just slightly nip in as well.
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean.
And they do, but they you know, like on the spiral line, when you got the hatch marking that spit you out, they've wore out, so it's not spitting them round. So they need to repaint that, because
when it's complex, they need information correct.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to encourage accidents.
Yeah, and I think they just changed the signs around, because they've got the signs for where you're going and what you want to do first, and that's almost at the point where it's too late to react and move over to the right lane. If they change it around, it might make it easier, but the amount of accidents have happened there.
I can imagine.
One of our van drivers got it last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was obviously, and he's just come down the side of her. She couldn't see out the mirrors and just he was driving to the side of the van.
I mean, have you seen those roundabouts? So there's many roundabouts, and this is the thing. We've got to kind of know many generalisations here with roundabouts and formulate just the best plan for us, and obviously manage it and keep it safe, even if it is slightly wrong. Do you know what I mean? Because, and the reason I'm saying that is because I know many things with the way junctions are situated, like you just said there. You know, the Asda roundabout, they've done 2 roundabouts near that new estate in Chellaston, just off Snellsmore Lane. I think it might still be Snellsmore.
Yeah.
They're wrong. Yeah. They're completely wrong. They don't work.
No. They've taken on Ireland then, haven't they?
Have they changed it?
From main old Chellaston here.
Oh yeah, they took
that one out there, and you've got the left turn to the first estate. I think it's just the one a bit further up.
There's 2 now.
There's 2, is there?
They've moved one and they've put 2 in further down.
Oh, okay.
But basically what I'm saying is they're wrong. So you've got a bit of a mess to sort out on approach. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got to kind of know generally what you should do, and then correct somebody's mistake, and know that the car behind might just follow the markings, even though it puts them in danger. Yeah. If their markings are wrong. Yeah. There's not space for 2 side by side. They're tiny. And what they've done is they've put that little ramp, you know, like sometimes it's cobbled bricks near the inside, so you're not meant to drive on it. But it's if a large lorry's going across, of course it needs a space. But I don't know how they're going to work down there. You'll have to have a drive down and see what I mean.
Yeah, because last time I went, I nearly took that one out, but I haven't been down there. I might go down there, because that's interesting, because there's a few like that where you go around and you think, this is like, I mean, even the one at Asda, not Asda, but you've got the Acorn Way and the Rains Way, people going straight onto Nottingham Road tend to be quite lazy and don't follow the bend. They'll go straight across and they'll cut across the guy who's coming right off into Acorn Way. Many times I've driven and I'm turning right and a car's cut across me.
Well, here's an example on a driving test, right? We're waiting in the correct position to go ahead there for Acorn Way, up from Rains Way. Obviously left is left only, so that's why the middle spirals to the left. It's another element of spiral within that route, because the left lane's disappeared, it's gone, and that's why the middle can come over. So effectively it's 2-lane roundabout. 3 on approach though. And somebody failed before, this was years and years back, somebody failed because they had been there for a while and there was a car next to them, and they moved on to the roundabout. They didn't check to see what this car was doing again. They didn't look and see, because that car could have moved with them, like you've just said, intending to get the same lane. Wrong, but it doesn't mean they're not going to do it. And you need to update, you need to check again on your surroundings before you move, especially when, like, I don't know, 30 seconds has passed or so, you know, it's like, what?
It's a long time,
You need to keep up to date, so yeah. Anyway, interesting chat there about roundabouts, such a funny subject. And
I need, to be fair, I do need to have a look at them more often because I just drive them and not think about them.
Well, I've done a video on them, so
I'll have a look at that,
I'm just working on it now. Starting to get a bit worked up, really. I said not worked up. I wish I was worked up. I was starting to get a bit busy with all these videos, but I am enjoying it. So I just need to get them done.
It's good. It's a good thing to have.
How did you find watching yours back, by the way?
I stopped it quite quickly.
Really?
To be fair, I'd put it on. I had a couple of. I had a couple of drinks. It was sort of one day off, and I had a few drinks. I'll put it on because it pops up. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And the sound of my voice, jeez, I'd rather hear a droning.
Oh, Scott, it's absolutely
I'll get used to it. No, I know it's going to be a useful aid. I am going to watch it, but I was like, no, that used to sound.
Do you think you need a couple more drinks before you before you watch it?
Yeah, I think I need a few more, probably a few whiskeys, so I can just kind of dread out my own voice and try and think of somebody else's voice speaking for me. But I shouldn't do because it's just one of those. I think it's just getting myself to that point. I think it says last week. I use social media, but I'm not at that level where I like to watch, and it's kind of like, God, that's me. That don't feel right, but I'll get there. I will get there. And I will watch them because they're good, and I can pick out points in it and stuff, and I will do. And I've watched other people, but I found it easier to watch somebody else than me at the moment. But I'll get there. I will get there. I promise you. I will watch it. I've watched it.
How would you rate your brakes to slow gears to go then at the moment?
Today,
10,
I'd say a lot better. I'd probably say maybe. Been harsh, 6, 7, maybe 6. Yeah, I'd say 6 probably.
So far, because I mean, looking at it so far, it's much better. Pulling in on the left, that felt so much nicer coming in. Never at any stage. Yeah, it felt smooth, not too slow. Felt smooth. Never at any stage it looked like we're going to go over to the left.
It was slow in control. I had enough time to do the slight adjustments as opposed to
both hands on the wheel
and out. Yeah.
So what are we rating that out of 10 at the minute then?
I'd say it's probably stepped to maybe 7, 7.5 maybe. Do you think?
Yeah.
Always get better, can't you? You never aim for perfect, I don't think.
Okay. And anticipation, so we'll keep working on that.
Yeah.
Just so we've cleared up about roundabouts, kind of just chatted about what that was. Yeah, you need to see it. You need to be looking in the direction you're travelling to get that. Do look across the left as well. You know, try and spot the exits. Normally it's a crisscross, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally, or a. So, anything else there that sure there was something else I wanted to just... Oh, the gears. Now, you may have been right about a second because of the amount you slowed down. There's a way, I think, of balancing a car so that you don't... So it just kind of pulls you over those bumps. Because I think if you slow down too much, you feel the dum-dum. Yeah. Rather than just going do-do as you pull back down the bump.
Yeah.
But you don't want to come up the bump too fast, do you?
No, exactly. I don't know if it's because I was unsure of what speed I need to be at this car. I wasn't sure.
Should we try and look? A second might be. Should we go up and have another look in a bit and just try and
definitely,
gauge?
I think I just felt that bump might have been a bit harsh than what it actually was, so I thought I'd be slower in preparation for it. I think that's what it was. I think it's just, I think one of the key things that to me is actually getting a manual gear car for myself to drive around and actually know. Because the problem in my car, even in the manual mode, is if I'm going too quick, the gear will change down automatic for me. So it takes away that kind of, so I'm going to get myself a manual car. That's definitely key. But I just felt at that point I didn't know I wasn't sure whether I'd be going too quick in your car for that or too slow. So I thought I'd rather be slower rather than too fast, and then they go take off over the bump. But I think that's just something I need to adjust and assess that one. I think you're right.
Well, let's talk about speed bumps. Yeah. So in the highway code, they referred to as traffic calming. Yeah. So what's the idea?
It's designed to slow people down through built-up areas and make it safe for all road users and pedestrians. Because that road's quite a long road, and I've seen people barrel down there at excessive speeds, and it's dangerous. It keeps you slower automatically because you can't. You want to be up and down the gears but
let's just have a look into that then. So what about if we keep an overall speed,
consistent speed as opposed to,
rather than keep upping and down and braking and gearing and do you know what I'm saying? So just kind of really thinking about
and back then we were consistently in third and was okay, wasn't we?
Which bit? Sorry.
On the speed bumps, when we got to the right speed, I was okay going over the bumps in third.
I think so. I think you've got to get the right speed in third coming in, and then get back on the gas at the right spot, at the right point to bring him up and bring it back down. Obviously catering for the little lag when you go back on the power.
Yeah, definitely. I think that needs something, because I think you might have to just be in second for that. But yeah, I think you're right.
It's going to be more economical to drive like that. It's going to be easier. It's going to be more enjoyable, better for your passengers, etc. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So let's get back to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions? Are you okay?
No, I'm happy. Yeah, no, it's good.
Good.
Good start.
Good. Yeah, very good.
So I can find my bind point first. Actually, I'm just going to play with that.
Yeah, sure.
There. Right, so that's the bit. And brakes. I agree with you on them, by the way. They're a pain, aren't they?
I'm not a fan of electronic handbrakes.
So it's about halfway up, isn't it? Right, okay. You can actually feel that when it's about in gear.
What's that?
The little bite on the engine.
When you're out of gear?
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
Go on, do it again.
It's just the engine noise a second. There.
Tell you what, Scott. Good job you're here.
I think. I might be wrong,
you're
but
right.
it sounds like
you are
it.
right. Because something will still be happening. You put that clutch down, it's still separating them more, and they're just touching, I believe, in neutral. But there's nothing there to actually make it. Yeah. So yeah, you're correct.
There.
It's a nice one.
Let's see if I'm right then. It's proved.
Well. So at the end, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give you double directions because as a sat nav would and an examiner would. Can you see, why would I do that here?
Because it comes down to the junction. There's a short approach to the next junction there.
So it'd be unfair to so I'm going to say we're going to move off when it's safe, and then we're going to turn left at the end here, and then we're going to turn right. We might not do speed bump straight away, and we're going to turn right at the junction there. So left, then right.
Left, then right. Okay. Not quite at the bind point in there.
So identify the jump.
Cyclist allowed coming down the right there.
Good, well done.
Pedestrians just cross the road, should we just stay back?
What about your positioning here? We could have been a bit tighter.
Yeah.
So using the left arm for left steering, and the right arm for right steering.
Yeah.
Awesome. Could you be ready, Scott?
Could have been, foot and accelerator rather than brake.
That's it. And what's the problem with the foot on the brake, especially if you're on a gradient?
Take your foot off the pedal, you could roll backwards again and cause a problem behind.
So looking up the road, how's your forward plan?
Park cars on the left there, these are quite safe because there's nothing there. Bus stop on the left, guy in a pedestrian mobility scooter. Red car with doors open, parked left and right. No oncoming traffic coming, so it shouldn't be a problem to come through at the moment.
Right, we're going to turn left at the mini roundabout.
Okay. That was quite clever, you had your commentator without even realising it.
You what, sorry?
That was quite clever from you then, you had your commentator without even realising it.
Yeah.
I thought there's some embarrassing to that there.
I thought it was really good. It's when the magic starts to happen. I just feel at the same time, make sure you're not straying too wide past the cars that you're passing.
Car width door,
That's it, And why is it only a car door width?
Oh, you did explain it, I forgot that.
Just, if you go more, you're closer to junctions, you're closer to... And there's no need, and you could invite something on the inside, right? Let's say there's a cyclist behind you. So you've got a speed bump coming up, check the middle mirror, just come off the gas, don't brake. Don't brake. Brake a bit now, second.
Yeah, I thought that was a second gear one, to be honest. I was panicking, I think we were doing too quick. But I didn't need to react too soon.
Exactly, so just on the eve of the incline.
Pedestrian to the left walking in a tight road.
Awesome, and what's the footpath like?
Very narrow.
Okay, so how is your speed reflecting this then?
By slowing down to react if he steps out into the road.
Because can we swerve? Could we have swerved with the silver car?
Could have stopped, not swerved.
Yeah. So was you slow enough to stop? Exactly. Nice one. Is this one as high as the last one?
No.
So on the throttle a little bit as we go over this one.
Yeah.
So differentiating. Yeah. Because it's not as steep. What's the thing here then?
Kids
what are we thinking? Give him a bit of room.
Keep staying wide because that car could fall off into the road.
Gosh, I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
And his mum's walking with the phone, totally unaware what's cracking.
I wouldn't be comfortable with it, would you?
No.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
This is why I don't like driving the vans in school.
Comment below.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this ugly thing they put here? Anyway, we're going to go left at the end. So commentate, there's an advanced stop line here.
There for the cyclists.
We're stopping at the first one because there's no reason to be stopping in the box. Yeah.
So I can put your handbrake on there, come on in for me biting point, foot off.
Try not to look at the handbrake. How could that be setting bad habits?
Do you need to
If
look
you're
down?
not aware of what's going on around you, you're down there. It's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Just to find it naturally. And
that's it. So reach for it, feel for it. So talk to me about what you're looking for while you're waiting here.
I'm looking at this traffic coming down, looking for any pedestrians that are going to cross last minute, anything potentially like cyclists coming down the left of me.
Awesome, yeah, this is good.
Down the right hand side.
That's it.
We should be going quite soon, actually.
This is good.
So I'm getting ready to go.
Very good, Scott. Yeah.
This is what I've been doing to myself in the van. It's terrible.
Scott, you're doing a great job. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I did the same thing. I think everybody's the same when they hear themselves. It's like being in the third person all of a sudden. It's just weird. I was become a DJ, and that's how I got over it.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to be a DJ. I was like, well, I need to use a microphone. That's it. I just need to. So I need to get over it. Yeah. And that's what I did. Like, so
I was going to say the traffic light should have been changed because I'm virtually across the road. Lady ahead walking towards the road, she went to cross.
And talk to me about your road positioning as you're doing it.
I'm probably a bit too far right, so I'm a bit more centrally.
Very good planning here. So tell me how that relates to your speed then and the speed limit of the road.
I'm slowing down because potential hazards around me there that could have developed into something like that lady, so I gave her plenty of time by staying slow.
And now?
Now I'm going to start building my speed back up to 30.
Anything overtaking before you do?
No, I didn't check actually, but no, there's not. Okay. But I didn't actually, that's one thing I didn't check, to be fair.
All right.
There's plenty of road for them to do that.
Okay, good.
I know there's a bus ahead that could be stopping shortly because the junction, the bus stopping further up, so I'm not going to be. Car behind me's a bit close, maybe.
Could it be because we're doing 27, maybe?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bus there is pulled up now. You could be getting ready to pull off at any minute. They don't tend to stop, do they? There's a bus coming there, so I'm not going to go through in your car. Probably no, I'm going to go through mine actually. To be fair. Second there.
I think I would go.
Would you?
Yeah, we've got a big wide, it's like a wide lane really. I would proceed with caution though, because there was still people getting off the bus.
Yeah.
There wasn't much in it, but let's say there were another 10 getting off that bus, would have probably felt
probably would have done, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't know.
Fuck car indicator brake lights on.
Awesome.
So we'll come over more to my side here. Another parked car to the left. Doesn't look like anybody there or moving. Car at the junction ahead. Lights, no one there.
Scott, you're doing a great job.
It sounds awful. It does sound awful.
Sounds like $1 million to me. So turn left, next road on the left, please.
We're seeing the possession in their car there. Could potentially want to come out to learn to drive, and he has done.
Good, and you're leading in with the left too.
Yeah.
Left hand.
Rear's checked.
It's good. What are you checking for?
Checking for anything on the left hand side, cyclists again, on pedestrians, road position.
And what about the road behind, like centre mirror? Like, how is that? What are you checking that for?
For anything coming from behind me, cars off the junction.
How could that be a problem?
Either I'm going to, so they've come off too quick, or so they're aware of where I am and stuff.
Yeah, well, you want to know what's followed you in.
Yeah.
You want to know if they're going to be too close.
Yeah.
You want to have to get the characteristics of overtaking potentially.
This is where you go over 103, looking over the grass bank and stuff.
Beautiful.
Never really thought of it like that. I do it automatically, but I never thought of it something like that.
Yeah. Give you a couple of tips with your steering. Nice loose grip on the wheel, thumbs out on the outer of the wheel, like that. Yeah. So when you move, try and hear the slide. Now as you're working with this, sliding it, yeah.
Get a bit more speed up there because it's quite clear as pedestrians there. They've got the car, no signs of moving. Parked cars. A little bit more left to right to centre of the lane, so we'll see ahead further around the distance. Right to the left.
So your positioning's much better than a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Why is that better? Why are we driving like much neater and more progressively now? I don't know about the white cars parking. What do you reckon?
I think, to be honest, I actually peeled back too far.
Before?
Yeah.
Is that because you was conscious of these lessons, or do you think you were doing that? Yeah, I think it's because
I was conscious of these lessons. Yeah. The driver coming now, so
awesome. Can you do this without stopping potentially here?
Yes. I would go.
Yeah, okay.
I would go myself. I don't know. I should have perhaps let them go first, because although I would go because I'm going up a hill, there's more chance of me. Stalling or rolling back.
Fair.
But I think it's one of those.
I think we were both kind of at the same speed.
Yeah,
stopping.
at the same time. Yeah.
All I was thinking was, if you was going to let them, which in my head I just thought you were going to for some reason.
I was going to.
I love it that you're being more progressive and more like yourself today. That's really, really positive. I was thinking if you were going to stop, we could have used that thing where we do a rolling hold back. What do I mean by a rolling hold back?
So you take your foot.
You could try it here. So brake, brake, clutch down, first gear, slower, set your feet, and you could either hold and wait,
if you ran out of room.
Yeah.
But the slower you are, the longer you are, you're creating more time, so you don't ever stop.
Yeah, I do that. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, so rolling holdback is encouraged, really, and that requires good forward planning.
Yeah, because that keeps then the traffic flow moving, doesn't it? As opposed to stop, and concertinaing up and creating more hazards. And okay, so it's called a rolling holdback.
Yeah, so and again, it's going to save wear and tear on the brakes, the gears, the fuel. Yeah. It's always easier and less fuel to get going again, or it's more.
Second, it's a bit tight, and then you can come around this blind bend.
You might not need to steer so much away from that.
Yeah, I was
pretty closer on this side. Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting. That was a bit of a. It was in commentator mode then, rather than actually driving mode.
Yeah, make sure it relates to the old drive. So follow this road round.
Yeah, again, blind bank coming up, so I'm going to actually slow down.
So what mirrors do you need before you move out?
Right mirror.
Yeah.
Centre mirror, right mirror. Then centre mirror, left mirror to come back in.
That's it, good.
Stay fairly wide-ish so I can see around the bend, second gear here.
Fantastic, yes. And I think you said why, the bend.
Yes.
Narrow, isn't it?
Gives me a chance to see round and react.
What are we expecting around the corner there?
Could be parked cars, could be people crossing, could be cars coming up.
Could be somebody dropping a skip off.
Yeah.
Just truck it off in the road here. Yeah. We're going to go left at the end, follow that road to the end, and then turn right.
Okay.
So left and then right at the end of the next one.
Just felt that maybe the engine wanted to. That was a bit of a right steer rather than left then as well.
You was aware that you needed to catch up though with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a start. So which hand should have been leading?
Left hand should have been leading there.
You alright with the direction here, do you remember?
Yeah, right.
Please, yeah.
Mirror, centre mirror, right mirror. Signal position.
So because this is on an incline, you know, if you did wait, what would you do with your feet?
With my feet now?
Yeah.
If I did wait now, I'd put the handbrake on and the foot would be just resting ready over the accelerator.
Yeah, alright, let me rephrase that.
Because I'm using automatic.
If we're waiting for longer than a couple of seconds, like say 5/8, yeah, always come up with the with the mindset to go.
Balance too.
Yeah, you know.
Do you know I was taught that was bad? I'm not questioning you. I'm not saying that. I was taught that.
I know.
That's bad, and I think it's actually quite good because you are ready to go and react. You know, like now.
It's driving, isn't it?
I've got to, if there's a manual, I've got to do that. I've got to get my bike. There's too many things you've got to do. So if I'm sat like that ready. Also, I know you see some people junction sitting there biting, but if I'm holding it, I can go. And it's what you keep referring back to being taught badly.
Yes. I just think it's through people not understanding their own driving.
Yeah.
That's why I emphasised the first time we spoke, nothing behind us, agreed?
Yeah.
First time we spoke, it's all about the driving. It's all about your part two. Without that, you're not going to be able to understand it and break it down. So let's talk about that approach here. It's quite closed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're coming in, you're using first gear because it's closed, and really, once visibility comes in, you can just set the gas, find the button, go. Yeah. Or if there's cars coming, you've got the ability to hold still for a split sec, edge forward, get a better view, and go while you're waiting. Yeah. Something like that.
Which I do in my car.
Which is very forward going. Yeah. More, you're going to make more progress. You're not going to be stopping when you don't need to, which could up your risk behind.
And stalling and
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't see any reason why you would do that.
No,
I rarely do that for new drivers as well. You know, new learners who have never done a junction. I don't see why I'd teach them to stop first, then move. I'm instilling the bad stuff right from the off.
I completely agree with that. I mean, I drive that way myself, anyhow. Why I didn't is probably because I was taught this car van behind. I didn't get the biting point quite then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I do normally and would normally actually just hold.
Yeah. Take the next road on the right, please, Scott.
Yes.
Do you reckon you could have, so we didn't get the vibration?
Yeah,
let go of, let go of your brake a second or two sooner. I think you'd already
pace back up.
Ease off, let the car kind of roll in, and then get back on the gas as you're kind of starting your turn.
Yeah.
And that would have made that lovely. I think you really applied the brakes to slow perfectly there. Just got to kind of realise that you can act earlier. At this roundabout, we'll work with recognition. We're going to go ahead first exit.
Head first exit, okay.
So why is your position central?
It's a defensive line because it's not wide enough for two cars.
Alright, and which hand should you be using here?
Left hand again, and I'll use no right hands this way.
That's it.
I've never really actually
So it's
thought of it like that.
It's going to be the left.
Yeah.
And the right's going to help take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mirrors checked, parked car on the left. Rear's car Saturday.
Describe your width passing that car just now.
Probably slightly too wide.
Slightly.
Yeah.
So let's try and get this lined up perfectly on this one.
Okay.
So get the light up, of course, if you can.
Rolling.
Which other mirror?
Big centre right.
Why do you need to check the right one?
Again, someone trying to overtake me.
Is it because of Bob? What you said at the beginning?
I don't know what that is. I just saw it at the video.
Boy on bike, you'd see him in the mirror, wouldn't you? Probably.
Yeah. I didn't know there's some special terms. I asked you what it was. To be fair.
There's loads of weird acronyms in this industry.
Clearly, that's not one. It's just somebody who uses Bob.
I don't use that very often. It just sounds a bit. We'll just say any cyclists.
Cars parked and take a central position because they've got nothing ahead. Doing time smooth if I have to. Car behind's a little bit close. So I'm going to slow down a bit slower now to try and let him know I'm coming to a stop at the junction.
At the end of the road, we're going to turn right, please, Scott.
Just a second.
Would you ever use second here, do you think? Looking at how closed it is.
No, it's going to first, but I just think going up the hill is going too slow for the gear.
Sure.
I don't think it's just me personally. I think I was wrong on it, but I just felt that it wasn't. It was because stayed in third and dropped to first straight away, couldn't I?
Yeah, start your braking later so it doesn't demand that the clutch goes down. How about using engine braking for a bit longer?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the road, turn right. Now, I'd call this a little bit of a Y junction. Okay. So you see how that car's positioned itself more straight?
Yeah.
Try and achieve that, but try not to create this gap here because you will invite something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do that in the. You have to do that quite a lot in the vans, to be fair, so you can see the road on quite a lot of junctions.
Yeah, so changing it from a Y to a T. But why is that gap risky? Because we were like on the centre line with the right tyres there coming down.
Yeah.
Why is that risky there? Do you think?
Because people come down the left hand side of it.
Could do. Worst case. Yeah. Downhill. How fast could bikes pick up speed there?
Quite quickly, actually.
Could
yeah.
Do. So yeah, central. If you're going to do it, and check your left mirror before you do that steer, I would say there, because it's quite an extreme steer, and it can't bring the car around like this. So if you don't hear anything from me, what do you always assume?
Straight ahead.
Yeah. So talk to me about your planning here.
I'm slowing off, hoping for the lights to change like they have, so I haven't got to come to a stop. I'm checking the left hand side because it's a cycle lane. Very good. Right hand side because the car's coming around the right to turn right.
Very good.
Checking the centre mirror now because the car's quite close behind me, so I'm going to pick up some speed to create a safe gap.
And how's the hazards on the right and the left?
Obviously oncoming traffic there, the bus stop to the left, there's no pedestrians, people have just crossed.
In your road position?
Road position, maybe I could come back a bit left, a bit more central.
Yeah, what was?
I was probably too far to the right then a little bit.
And how does this affect
me now because that car's turning right, it could be overhanging like he is.
So what mirror do you need to check before you steer left?
Mirror, centre mirror and left mirror.
So spot the hazard and straight away what you're going to do to deal with it, yeah? Got to put another new one. So what they've been doing with these, and they put these towers everywhere now, and they're much taller.
They're the new 5G ones I think, aren't they? But I'm not seeing 5G around here, have you?
Well that's the thing, so that's what the mystery is to me. I mean,
perhaps should have changed gear then, because it could be changed because it's going stale.
Talk to me about the lines and your speed and your likelihood of stopping.
Probably a bit too quick there to stop for that one then, if I'm honest.
Well, it didn't change, but like you've got to be anticipating.
It, yeah.
How long's it been on green? If it changes at this speed, would I? You know, you're not.
It could potentially cause a problem because the car behind me was following me at that pace as well. To be fair, I should have been slower there. Going to third. So give yourself the left-hand lane with the cycle lane.
We've got cycle lanes now.
Yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they?
It seems like they're closing city centres for drivers and trying to push out cars. To me, I think there's a bit of an agenda, to be honest with you.
Oh, there is. It's been on the cars for a while, hasn't it? That car's just come out dead quick. I saw him, but.
All right then.
Just slow that down a bit there because the engine roll.
So we're going to take the next road on your right, please.
Okay. Centre mirror, right mirror signal. The van's pulling out. I've got the bus coming on. There, so I'm going to start to brake now because that car's coming towards me.
Okay.
I'm probably not going into first gear because I'm going to have to stop. Okay, it's safe for me to go. Check the road.
Very good.
Sensible.
Would you like to pull out of here quick, don't they?
They do, yeah. I'll stop here because you're going to give me no room into first. Keep trying to get the vehicle rolling a bit.
Mini roundabout, we're going to go straight ahead, second exit. And then pull up at a safe place when you're ready. On the left, please.
Okie dokie. Debating whether to might just pull up before and just junction it because wide the road's wide enough, isn't it? So
have you checked your mirrors yet?
I hadn't, no.
Yeah.
I knew the bus was behind me and it stopped, but.
Keep focused, steer right more. Just scrape slightly.
Was it can?
It was a can. But it was very close to the curb.
Yeah.
I think your concentration had got a bit then,
yeah, because I switched off, yeah.
Now then, when you're looking to park, is it fair to say that we tend to go a little slower? We're like easing off. I wish the learners adjusted that by default. They're still on the gas when they're looking to park. But if you've eased off the gas, you've just pulled into a, well, you've just come off the roundabout. So normal expectations are kind of speed up, you know, if everything's safe. So you need to know how that's affecting behind, don't you? If you're looking and judging whether to park or pull in. Yeah. So use that mirror signal maneuver for any. So you know when you do, it's like the hazard perception. Like if you click that, it should be a check of the mirror.
Yeah.
So anything that you think could cause you to change speed, even if you anticipate easing off, check this one first, see how it's going to affect.
Of course, yeah.
Because you might do it differently, or you might not. You might think
I'd always started and then checked. I've got that backwards then, hadn't I? I'd started slow and checked. I knew the bus was behind me, but I hadn't checked where about behind me. I just, I got that wrong way around. That's something I definitely know, and I do that sometimes myself. And I actually pull myself up on it and go, you've done that the wrong way around. Right then,
we're working on anticipation.
Yeah.
If we anticipate, so that time it wasn't anticipating.
No.
You'd got something you needed to do.
Yeah.
But you are anticipating stopping somewhere. So before you change speed, let's build that into the commentary.
Yeah.
That I'm slightly slower, easing off. So I'm going to check. I'm going to ease off to give yourself more time to judge. I'm going to check behind.
Yeah, check behind.
There's nothing too close. No worries, or maybe I need to brake. Maybe I'm not going to slow down because I don't like the way it looks, or the bus is looking like it's going to overtake me, or I didn't get it all packaged up as one, did I? Kind of, it was all broken up, and I know exactly what you mean. I totally get it. I see that. Yeah. No worries.
I can work on that one, no problem.
Then, do you want me to help you with that, by the way, at all?
I think I can work on it.
Do you want to tell me as you're doing it, and we'll try and bring it in that way for the next lesson, rest of the lesson?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I think it's something I noticed myself.
Yeah.
In not just obviously stopping, but sometimes driving, like it's like you're not quite. You've started to slow down. You haven't checked. So I do know that sometimes I get that.
And it's and as well, it's when we have slowed down and we're about to speed up and change direction.
It's that glance again.
But is the door mirror checked before we steer into that new space?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of just sprucing up into it. Generally, it's not too bad, but it's making sure that it's there. Look, we're all human. I mean, and sometimes I as well. Yeah, but just training you up and getting you to that point. Yeah, definitely.
I like. I'm enjoying it. Just even.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, because it just makes you realise. Actually, it just makes me. I mean, I already know after having 2-3 lessons that I'm a better driver in my normal life because of it.
I can see that already. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed implementing it all into my own. I did.
Because you just feel like I'm a fucking better driver as well.
I know.
As stupid as it sounds, I've noticed as well. I'm different. Is the MPG.
The what? Sorry.
The MPG's gone up.
Has it?
Yeah, not much, but it's gone up.
Wow, that's a real testimony to what I'm saying, isn't it? I've been saying about economical.
Yeah. I mean, I normally sit in my car around about 38 miles to the gallon.
And it's summer, so you'll be putting your aircon on a bit more. Well, say summer, a couple of hot days. So.
And I've noticed that it creeps up. And I'm like, okay, so the things I've implemented and doing are actually. Well, no, it is anyway. I don't need that as a verification. I know it's working because I feel like I'm a better driver already. And I know it's only 3 lessons in, which even if. I know it's not going to end at that, but even if nothing came of this, I'm better for it.
For sure. I mean, I only needed a couple of goes round with you to see that already. Very, very impressive.
There's almost an argument that they should have some refresher lessons as a compulsory thing.
I think more people would enjoy it. Well, you see, a lot of instructors, I might be careful what I say. If you're teaching to pass tests, you're going to be no good to give anybody any refresher lessons. You're not going to be able to tap into where they're at with their needs. I don't think you'd just be saying. You'll just say to them, and this is what loads of instructors say: "Oh, you can drive, you can drive. You know, well, yeah, but it's not what." That's not what I, you know. Well, that's one of the things. I mean, my wife, I mean, she actually had a few tests, bless her, but she picked up on that. You know, our lesson planners. She says that's fantastic. Just because sometimes, just when she went driving, she'd come away from driving and go, I can't remember what I need to learn because there was that much put in. She just and just having them key little bullet points. Yeah. To look at. You've been using your areas, your areas for development. Yeah. Yeah. I know. You know, I've. It's good because you've got something to look back on, because like you said, I mean, that section there then, because I was thinking about things, I forgot the main thing that was I was checking my mirrors and making sure it was safe to pull over and slow down, because I was trying to implement things. I forgot what I was actually doing. That's where the routines come in. Yeah. So, you know, recognition, identification, whatever you want to call, identify what we're doing, right, that means this, work through the process. Yeah. And I just think I didn't get that nice little complete package and do it all naturally. I was like, and it's like, oh, I'm going, and that then in turn brought me, because I wasn't concentrating on what I should have been doing, coming to a stop, you know, and that got me close to the curb unnecessarily. And it's, I think it's building that routine, it's building that repetitive routine into your driving, whether it's every day driving as well, doing the same thing over and over again, and just becoming natural at it as opposed to trying to do it. Let's bring in the hazard routine then. Let's tweak it again, slightly different. Let's call it the hazard routine. Okay. So every time we see a hazard, it means we check the middle mirror. Yeah. Quick glance. Yeah. So let's bring in the hazard routine.
I think sometimes just a way of packaging it, to be honest, but it gives you something tangible to work with, if you like. So what's the hazard routine then? Hazard routine for me, obviously, before pulling off, I'll be checking the blind spot, left mirror, centre mirror, right mirror, well, head, sorry, centre mirror, head, right mirror, then right blind spot, and a quick check in before pulling off. When we're driving then? When we're driving, again, looking at surroundings, junctions, approaching them, vehicles behind, vehicles oncoming, pedestrians, cyclists, you know, vans like that there, could they people working around the vans, because that's something that, you know, I obviously get used to it, but your van tends to always be in use even when it's parked up, because people are coming in out the back of it, or so that's always a potential hazard for me, or develop, you know. And there's the pedestrians walking behind me now with the pushchair. Again, I've seen that way, people push the pushchair into the road and wait to cross. You know, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I'd rather stand in the road, let me baby on the path. Too, but you know, it's just being aware of all surroundings for me, and like there, now that guy's turning right. So great. So you're anticipating, you're seeing all the stuff, but it's what we're going to do about it. Yeah. And we need to be informed in terms of what we're going to do about it. As in, the hazard means we check the middle mirror. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a door mirror if there's a directional change involved. Yeah. But use common sense. Definitely always this one first for that reason. So from this point, it'll be middle mirror right, blind spot, and head quickly, and then one fold check as I come out into the centre of the road to go through the traffic calming zone. And if I was to ask you, why do we use mirror signal manoeuvre? What would be your answer? For hazards, and to see how can it help you manage your risk based on the hazards. Because up there, then if you said to me, like, I want to pull off now, I wouldn't have gone out of waiting, because I'm going to learn a car, and the chances are he's not going to give me priority, he's not going to stop, so I'd just wait for him to pass to negate that hazard coming, or becoming a developing hazard. Well, that makes sense. So you'd give yourself more time? More time, yeah. I mean, that guy, if you'd have said to me, that guy was at the island then, I thought, if you tell me to pull off now, well, I'm just going to wait till he comes past, because you just see me pull off, well, I've got plenty of time to go, because that's what people tend to do when they learn cars. Yeah. So cars oncoming, what about cars behind? Again, car could be shunking around the past me, you can see me over indicator, but not going to give me a chance to pull off. They'd just overtake me and not give me a chance, I would just come round me. So why do you use mirror signal manoeuvre then? To let them know my intentions. I'm about to pull off. Yeah, and how can that help? It's not just moving off, by the way. No, that can help, because obviously they can either slow down, or I can gauge whether it's safe to pull off, because of their speed. If they're slowing up, I've got time to go. Yeah. But if they're not, careful with moving off that it's not a begging signal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't signal if we're not going to move.
Yeah, sitting there all day, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see what happened with that learner car then? Did you see that?
He pulled out a bit too far to the right, didn't he?
They've literally pulled out, swung wide with an oncoming vehicle. Where was the instructor? I shouldn't do this.
No,
I really shouldn't do this, especially when I'm recording. But I don't know. I'm going to be the most hated man in Derby.
But I didn't see it fully. But I saw him pull out, and I saw him on the other side of the road. Luckily, that Skoda was obviously, or Saab, was aware, and he stopped, didn't he? But yeah.
Whose job is it to? Who's crossing whose path?
It's the instructor should have been.
They're entering the other side of the road.
Yeah, they should have waited.
They've got to anticipate the Skoda's just going to come straight on. It's probably even going to cut the roundabout.
Yeah.
It's going to get there quicker than they even think. What did that learner need to do then to stop himself going wide there? Because they did what's called an angle start there. I don't know if you're aware. Are you aware of that?
What's he? I probably do know what you mean, but I've not heard of it as that.
So you've got a car in front of you and you behind it. Visibility is slightly restricted. So talking about the instructor, they are on the left, to be fair to them, and they've got the learner on the right, and you've got to kind of come out like this. Have a look. Come out a bit more. But what loads of people do is they let the clutch out at this point. Well, how are you going to get? You put extreme steering on. How are you going to get off into it? So that's why they go this way. You've got to dip your clutch and use a couple of clutch disconnect your clutch plates a couple of times to get that door width and then go. So really, what they should have done is come out. Oh, there's a Skoda. Didn't see that. Oh, just wait there.
Yeah.
Just wait there. At the holding bite. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you want to be ready to go as soon as the Skoda's passed. We're forward thinking. You want to be ready to go.
Of course, yeah.
And don't forget, if you think that the clutch, holding up the clutch is going to wear or create too much heat and start to burn, well, you can take your gas off and just hold on the clutch, and then because it'll hold absolutely fine. There is some power being sent through from the ECU anyway, I believe. So reset your gas just before you intend to move.
Right.
And you can wait for longer on your clutch. I don't see any problem. I mean, it's designed to be used.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I get that.
So hazard routine, got to build that in. Your commentary's doing really well. Loads. What else are you happy with then at the minute?
I'm quite happy overall, to be fair. I think, like you said, I think getting this routine built right, I think is key. I've known that myself driving, like I said to you earlier on today, but yeah, I know that's something I need to build, that routine, so I'm doing it naturally. Sometimes I feel like I'm checking that rather than checking that first. So just build that, that repetitive routine into my driving. I feel quite happy. I mean, I know this wasn't too great here, but I think that's because I allowed the thought process to overtake it rather than just do it naturally. Yeah.
I just wanted to add something from the main road. So talk to me about positioning to turn right.
I was probably a bit too close, wasn't I, to the right hand side because there's large vehicles coming that didn't have enough room to go.
What's the road width like there? At that particular
it's not overly wide, is it?
It's not at that point. No. The rest is.
Yeah.
But that's not there.
It kind of bottles into it a little bit.
Yeah. So when we're going mirrors, signal, position, we think about the position, don't we? We don't
Cars
go.
can't come past me, so I should have said more defensive.
Middle. Yeah. You don't want your mirror over that line.
No.
You don't want, especially because the bus, like you said, large, wide vehicles. So yeah, it's always, it's like if we're going to turn right there. It would be acceptable to cut the corner should there be a car parked badly near the end. Yeah. So you've got to know when to do right, wrong.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Again, context. Very big on the context. I don't want to confuse anybody, and I want to train people to be drivers that enjoy their driving. Yeah,
well, that's key. Isn't it? If you don't enjoy it, then it's you're not doing, well, in my opinion, you're not doing a good job if the person don't enjoy driving. Because that's what we've all should have said. It's freedom, isn't it?
It sure is.
It gives you that chance on a weekend. Let's go to the seaside or go down, whatever. And if you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to do it, are you? You're just going to use that car to get from A to. It's going to become a tool to get to and from work or to and from everyday life, and that cars are a lot more than that.
I see it so much. I just see people uncomfortable. I just see them uncomfortable. I can tell they're uncomfortable. I can tell from being behind them. They're uncomfortable with what they're doing. It shouldn't be like that. Somebody the other day driving back from Long Eaton, somebody that's passed, they were driving, it was a 30 road. If you drive back from Long Eaton to Borrowash, you might recall it's just a 30 road all the way down. It changes to 40 a little bit just as you come through Draycott.
it goes back to 30 quite quick. It's only reaching that bridge, isn't it? But then you get to the petrol station, it's back to 30, isn't it?
That's it. And somebody was doing 22 on the 30 all the way down, even when the hazards had cleared. It changed to 30, it changed up to 40, they were only doing 33. And I've never actually experienced anything like that, to be honest with you, in all my driving career. That long of a distance with cars behind doing 22 is very different to 30.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
When there's no hazards, the road's wide, visibility's good, weather conditions are excellent. And I just think, who has encouraged this person to pass the test? Why aren't they displaying L plates if they're not comfortable? And they definitely need training. It's not lessons, it's training.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to think of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that, because I mean there's quite a few zones we drive through in Nottingham that are 20 mile an hour zones, and I know why they are 20 mile an hour zones, and I get it, but there's certain times when you could be sitting at 30 quite safe.
Quite easily.
But it's there for a reason. I know why it's there, because it's a built-up area, and there are school crossings and things, and obviously at peak times it's busier. But there's times I'm going through at 20, and the difference between 20 and 30 is phenomenal. I notice it.
Thing is, at 30, I mean, it's when you start going above 30 statistically that the survival, if you get hit, a pedestrian gets hit by a car, is much less likely.
I was reading this the other day.
Oh, it's that camera.
I was thinking, I've not done anything yet. I see something like 1 in 20 people over 30 mile an hour being killed. Something similar. Was it a bit higher than that? I can't remember now. But I was reading that the other day, and it's like amazing the difference that little bit of speed can do. And
I see a lot of roads in Nottingham being changed to 20, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Some of them are really major roads, really long roads, and I think, is this part of the agenda to kind of do away with cars, you know, making it that uncomfortable to really drive? You're better off bloody walking in the end. There's
Coventry Lane in Nottingham, and that you come through down towards Ilkeston, off not Bardon, on the one on from there, and you get to the little island, and it's 30, and it's up to 50. Then you got the crematorium. It's a nice wide road. There's lay-bys.
Oh no, that's the one I'm on about. It
drops back down to 30, then goes back up to 50, then back to 30.
Oh no, it's a different one.
It's like, well, it doesn't need to be. You're better off just giving it a 40 all the way through, rather than 50-30, because it causes problems. Because I'm in the van, I've got that blooming light foot, which we've discussed before, and I've got my reach, and that reach is indicating saying if I'm speeding. I've got 6 seconds to get to the right speed, otherwise it's pinged, I'm going to get done for it. So I'm at 50, bang, I'm down to 30. Everyone else, I see it, everyone else goes do, 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 do. Up behind me, I think they're going to think, what's this dickhead doing in his van? And I don't really need to be going 30. We're all sat at 40 and just cruise through, less problems creating, because you've got road users that will actually go and drive to that road, and obviously, like you said, that'll do below 30, because that's what they do naturally, and it's like, it causes, and there are areas, and Derby's not far behind.
No.
I mean, they're starting now, aren't they?
They've closed one of the roads and put a bus lane. I'm going to investigate that. I reckon they're probably trying to catch people out. The signs are ineffective. I swear they just. It's not about road safety. No. And this is my issue with this, and especially the issue with the A52. Those cameras are placed at the end of slip roads, and that is not safe.
No, because you've got to get up to speed
safely.
That is
not road safety. So what they're doing, just preying off vulnerable people who they might not be able to afford that. That might put them under immense stress, and they might have only been speeding up to make it safer because somebody's forcing their way on, or they've got to get back in because they've moved over because somebody was getting on. I'm not a fan of them. I'm going to expose. I didn't say too much yet, but
there was one
have a look at this.
On Bishop's Drive, I was taking my wife to work, and it was 9 o'clock in the morning, the roads are dead. And there's a speed camera, mobile speed camera, sat there thinking, well, what are you doing that for? You're not doing that for safety of the road, because it's not a busy day. If it's a Monday morning, at rush hour, I can understand it.
So the police are revenue agents, aren't they? They're not there to protect people and property, by the looks of things. So why are we... Right, this is a conversation for a different day.
This we can go on all day. This is a conversation at the pub we can go on for all day and put the world to rights. There's things that happen, like I drop my wife off at work at the bus station sometimes in the morning. I can't go down past the Corporation Street because it's now pedestrianised. Well, hang on, it's dead, there's no one around there. What's the problem? You're just going to the stopping, dropping off and going.
Smart cities, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not good there, like you said. We'll be there all day.
Yeah. Right then, Scott. Yep. We're building in the hazard routine.
Definitely.
We're aware of making adjustments, doing right, knowing when to do right, wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes the road dictates you have to kind of not do according to. Yeah.
Drive on when you're ready, please, Scott.
Okey-dokey.
Take the next road on the right.
Right. Find the biting point.
Oh, actually, no. Follow the road ahead because I want to take you up a very, very steep hill. You're probably well aware of it. Yeah.
No, I'm going to end of both at straight. Take it. Okay, so I'm going to check the mirror. Blind spot check. Left mirror, centre mirror ahead. Right mirror, blind spot. Indicate. No, I don't need to because something behind me. Ahead and away we go. Probably rode the clutch up there too much.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? I was following the plastic then.
Was it the footrest?
And so, off the steam.
Okay, so talking about what makes you check your middle mirror.
Yep.
So I can help you get started. You can speed up, so middle and right, and you're going to change direction.
Middle left to come back.
Good. Well done.
Me,
good.
So.
You seem like you're all right. You carry on then. You keep telling me what's making you check. And could you take the next road on the right, please, Scott?
Right. Okay. Oh, you taking that one? Even worse.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Middle and right mirror.
Well done. And what about your road positioning now? Is it a bit far?
Yeah. Again, I should be defensive in this one because it's only a single lane.
So if somebody comes around that corner too quick and our mirror's hanging over that line, or too far.
Off, yeah.
So talk to me about your mirrors now.
Centre mirror, right mirror check. Look ahead for anything coming.
And is anything following us?
No, I didn't check that one actually. To be fair, I checked as I come off. Probably too soon.
Now, describe the nature.
Centre left mirror because the car come at a junction.
Yeah. Should he have waited a bit longer, perhaps?
Yes, he should have. Centre mirror right because they come back out because there's nothing coming. I think he should have. Yeah, but they don't, do they?
No. They'll think because their side of the road is that side that they can still come. Yeah, generally.
Probably should have got a bit more acceleration there.
Well, let's have a look at some of here. Could you just ease, nothing behind, agreed?
Yeah.
Just ease off the pedals.
Okay.
And just let the car take us here.
That stalls it there. There's a car just went behind me now as well.
Right. No worries.
Just get it each way.
Cool. That's never happened to me before.
Okay.
I think it's because...
It's too steep.
Well, no, I think it's because we haven't come up the hill.
Enough.
We've kind of just slowed down and let it... Basically, most times there you can come off the gas slowly and it shouldn't affect it too much. It's not going to cut out.
Okay, so I've come off too quick.
Maybe. We'll have another play around and see what the engine braking can do for you on gradients. Because turn right at the mini roundabout.
Right, centre right indicate.
Well done.
Key to the crossing there. I'm going to get prepared to stop because that car's there. He's going to come to flash me. Checking his mirrors. First gear. I would actually go over that little bit in my own car to be fair, that island to take out that wide turn.
Do you think that would be what could happen here?
No, the guy there could come out to the road, pedestrian.
Tell me about how that relates to your mirror.
Should have been centre mirror, left mirror check on that there. Centre mirror now, right mirror to come out past there.
Well done.
I'm naturally slower here because that car's coming there. I've got enough time, so I'm going to go for that.
Cool.
Driver. Place another idea now, so I'm going to centre mirror check the cars behind me, right mirror just switches not going to pass me, just slowing down a bit. Checking my left and right junction ahead. The car with the indicator on looks like he's not going to be moving.
This is good.
Checking my centre mirror check again. Now I'm going to get a bit of speed because he's right. My bum.
And we're passing at a nice width as well when we're...
Centre mirror, left mirror check. I'm just going to move over left a little bit now to give him some room so he can keep coming.
You're making so much progress.
Centre mirror, right mirror coming back out.
And how does this now negate to your speed?
I'm controlling the speed quite nice. I'm not having to worry about my gears. Probably could have been in third actually there.
Once you've gone past them couple of cars, the scenario's changed.
I think I forgot I was in second actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I forgot. Centre mirror, left mirror checks and come back in. That car's parked there on the junction. There's no one in it, so it should be safe.
We're going to turn left at the end of the road.
Okay, centre mirror, left mirror, indicator position.
Keep your hand on the wheel.
Yeah, back into gear first, yeah. That was me being lazy. That's just folded back in. Clutching into first.
Which hand's going to lead the steer here as we move forwards, yeah? Left hand a little higher to do so then, just a little. All the way down, all the way down. And take off with the right.
Centre mirror car, no.
Stop.
Stop, okay. No, I read something, I was probably too far back from the junction, was I? To keep going.
You had an advanced stop line. I think you were looking too much at that rather than thinking...
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. We could have braked firmer as well. So let's next lesson do an emergency stop.
Okay.
Or we can look at more of a controlled stop.
Yeah.
You're back in full control.
Okay.
I did stop us there.
Yeah. I'm glad you did because I think that there as well, because looking ahead, I thought because on amber, I've read in the highway code that if you're at the junction and you're amber to keep going, it's not safe to stop, but I did have time to stop, didn't I?
You did, yeah. And that's why we've got to anticipate approaching lights and what could happen. Yeah. So, shall I... Or do you want to talk to me about the lights that we're coming up to down here and the lines, and if there's two, and the probability of changing and how that reflects your mirrors?
Okay, the next set of lights now I'm coming up to now, I'm going to send them a check because people coming towards they could be pressing the button, which they are doing. Yeah. So that could be changing. So I'm going to start slowing down with brake a little bit. Yeah, good. I'm coming to obviously the line, I was stopping at the line. Yeah, how many? There's one solid white line there, and then I'm going to press the clutch into first. Cool. I would have actually gone back there in my own car, so that's probably why I didn't do it. You'd have had to sped up to do it though, I would have done. I'm thinking about it, and I would have sped up to get through it on purpose, which is not good driving.
And why did you check your door mirrors then? Well, I saw you look across this way.
Just check both then, because again, cyclists and motorcycles shooting past me. Checking centre again, check the speed.
Talk to me about your road position here.
Road position is central-ish, probably maybe a bit too far to the right, coming left a bit more. Again, these lights ain't just changed, I should be okay to pass through. I'm going to be slow to stop. Tell
me at what point you wouldn't stop, for example. So have that mapped in your mind, and don't.
At that point there.
Yeah, don't slow down as you get towards them, but don't be speeding up rapidly. Yeah. Especially if you're not looking at them. Okay. If that makes sense. It's quite hard to explain actually.
At that point there, probably as I'm at the actual at the junction, almost. If I'm here, I wouldn't. I'm probably still too far back, aren't I?
But you mean, Scott?
If I wouldn't have stopped, it was on amber, you mean?
It's alright, let's concentrate on this, and we'll come back to it.
Yeah. Trying to get up to speed, mate. Yeah, a couple on the left hand side there, so we keep the central road, bit of a blind bend, so we come a bit more to the right so I can see around it a bit better. Score warning sign, crossing. Pedestrian crossing, there's no one there, so they shouldn't be changing.
And how, what does...
I'm sat at 30 miles an hour at the moment speed. There's a car a bit further ahead in the junction waiting to come out. I think he's waiting to turn right. So
how does that relate to your mirror?
Sensor mirror checking there to make sure that car behind me's got enough space. Yeah. Just easing off the accelerator, and then back on again there, because it's safe to
get back on sooner. I think, was it somebody crossed earlier? We said we could have got back on sooner. Because they're out the place where we're passing, if that makes sense. So yeah, just trying to have as little impact behind
right mirror check as possible.
Cars. Well done. What about this van? Could that cause you to check middle?
Middle mirror, yeah. Centre mirror and then left mirror, because come back across. So you could turn in front of me like these cars are now.
That's it.
Again, checking the centre mirror to make sure the car behind's safe enough for me to make me stop and slow down next to it.
I'm going to go ahead at the roundabout, second exit.
Okay. Checking the centre mirror and left mirror to be in position for the left hand lane. Slowing down now. No, probably should drop to second actually, because probably could get going after second. Centre mirror, left mirror, and indicator to come off. Should have done that too. Centre mirror check again now, and then left mirror, cancel indicator. I think I tried to go on the island, it was not very good, was it?
It's okay really, third gear. I think you held a good speed over the roundabout, and you matched your gear to your actual travelling speed that related to the road ahead.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether I should be doing that on a jump on an island. I mean, I do naturally, I'm confident driving.
Does it affect your control?
No, I don't think it did it?
So, no, I don't think so. If it does, then you've got to look at it.
Yeah, check the centre mirror now, checking the distance on his thighs, which is let the car roll naturally. Back up to 30 miles an hour now, because everything's moving.
The roundabout, we're going to go straight on. Third exit.
Centre mirror, left mirror check. The brakes, there's no cars behind me, dropping to third, which I've already in third, 44.
No worries, no problem. No problem.
Time to go. Now, would you indicate right here to let the next junction know?
No.
So I don't tend to, I'm not sure whether I should or not.
I don't think there's...
No, staying third, just keeping the left hand lane. And then we start to indicate that the intention know.
Now, come closer here, don't stick, come closer. Closer. There, closer. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Does that feel like you're too close?
Yeah, it feels way too close.
To where you should be.
Okay. I felt quite edgy now. I felt like
because you're narrow lane, you go any wide, you're actually imposing on these oncomers, especially when there's a bus. Yeah. I'm gonna go left at the roundabout, Scott. Sorry, it's
left mirror check. I'm gonna drop the second lead. It's quite a carbon bump. Pedestrian there's
very good.
going to comment on that. Centre mirror, left rear check.
Don't commentate on that, Scott. He looked happy anyway.
He did, yeah, he did. And then centre mirror, left rear check to come back into my side of the road.
So, what are you thinking here?
How's pulling out
centre mirror?
Centre mirror, right, but he's slowing down now because he's in to first. Could probably stay in second actually, come on, I think.
I thought so.
Yeah, I did as well. After I'd done the actual...
Could you be closer here? What about if there's a
should have been
truck
tonight. Should have been, yeah.
So you think about getting around the bend safely.
Yeah, so you can always stop, can't I, rather than being in the middle of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Centre mirror left, checked back in.
So middle of your lane as you're going around, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's something you need to get used to, is just knowing what are your limits.
I think, again, that's where I need a car to come in.
Drive closer to the curb for us, Scott. Nothing behind, agreed?
Yeah, nothing behind that.
Drive closer.
So that feels way too close.
Just hold us there. Hold that curb in the same place as your dashboard. Don't park. Just hold it there. Now you can follow ahead. Turn right. Can you see which lane you need to be in to turn right here? Because it's a double give way. Turning right, please. Over
centre, there. Or should be right to the centre. There.
Just pause here.
Yeah.
Bit late, sorry. What you do, because there's no cars that can turn in, you'd be on that side of the road, the wrong side.
Okay.
So right would turn right and left would turn left.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realise. Yeah,
it's okay.
I actually thought it was a two-way street. I understand now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's me. Poor driving.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. No,
I was distracting you with the curb thing, but
I didn't actually know it was a one-way street.
And last check for the.
That lady's gonna let me go. She's backed off to let me go. I've got.
All right, brilliant.
So yeah, checking my surroundings. I'm not good to go just yet.
Good to see you ready near the gas.
Yeah, I'm looking after the. Hopefully, after that murk and it stays clear, I'm going to go because my right hand's oncoming traffic zone today.
Still happy with the car?
Yeah. She let me go. Fair play. I actually didn't. To be fair, I would have been in the right hand lane to turn right. I just forgot. I lost the fact it was a one-way street.
Remember, recognition, identification on approach, and then work back. Yeah.
I'm not making excuses. I think it's because.
What about this van door, Scott?
This van door can swing open. This one here.
It's already
wide open. So I'm going to sit behind it.
Yes.
Here, because otherwise I'm in their lane, which I would do naturally.
And if you were there, because you've got to cater for the van door, what about if a bus turns in?
Bus turns in here.
Or another bin lorry. If you was here and you hadn't planned for that.
Was where? Sorry.
If you
behind here.
Next, alongside this van, because the door's open.
They've got nowhere they can go.
You'd be blocking the lane.
Blocking the lane. Yeah.
We're going to turn right at the lights at the end. Okay. That might be a bit early. That. When do you think would be more kind of?
I do it as I go to come off the island, off the junction. To be fair, that's what I might tend to be.
I'd do it as just as you're passing this.
Yeah. So literally as I come back into where I want to be. Second, then I'm in mirrors checking and indicating from here myself. I've just switched off from my natural driving now, haven't I? I'm thinking about the process. I should have led me left rather than me right.
Okay, good. Lots of self-learning going on. We're going to go ahead, second exit. What lane are you best to use? Because you know where we're going to Asda, aren't we? Yeah.
Straight on here. Stay in second because I've got enough time to go. Sends me a check there, fine. That allows me straight on over. Anything on that left with us? Obviously, yes.
What about on the left side that could have turned left as we were coming in? Just check as you're coming across. Will you close that space, yeah?
Yeah.
Because somebody might not have seen the cone, so just check the mirrors, signal to come off.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead, or right for Asda, you could say.
Centre mirror check and right mirror coming in the right hand lane to go straight ahead.
I think a right signal helps those at B&M to go left for the A52.
It's coming off, I'm going to go, because I know this car's got a bit